How's it going, guys? Dustin at Daily Grind Fantasy Sports, and in today's video, we're going to be building out a couple slips, 2, maybe 3 slips. We're going to have one fully correlated slip for college football tonight. We're going to maybe build out something on PrizePicks and maybe ParlayPlay as well. We'll see how it goes. But before we get into the video, though, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button while you're at it, because it really does help us out. We would appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and get into the video after you guys have already done those cool things for us that do help us out. We're going to have a correlated slip, right? We're up 335.8 units on the correlation tool since 8/18. So just over, we're creeping up on about 2 months now, right? Been insane, an insane run. I know the couple showdown or the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, we didn't hit anything. That's fine. We hit multiple slips this weekend via the correlation tool. So we are up already on this weekend. Now, what I do want to mention is don't sleep on the fantasy bundle, right? The fantasy bundle being the optimizer and the middling tool, still getting plenty of value across the DFS apps. That's outside of correlation. Correlation might be the biggest edge right now, but still getting really good plus EV plays across the board on these League of Legends games. We got MLB playoffs, NFL, hockey starting back up. So we're able to build some really good slips still based off of these plus EV plays here on the optimizer and the middling tool. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start out with the PrizePicks slip. We're going to get to this Coastal Carolina Appalachian State Underdog insured slip, correlated slip here in just a little bit. But for now, we are going to go ahead and build out this PrizePicks slip with some of the top plays. I'm going to go ahead and give us a refresh and start building this out, right? So right off rip, we have Glory. So in League of Legends, Glory, direct comparison to Hot Streak, which is a dynamic payout platform that adjusts to money coming in, right? As of right now, minus 155 juice on the over of 4.5. We get it at 4 here on PrizePicks. So let's go ahead and start off with Glory in League of Legends. Boom. Glory, League of Legends, over 4 is where we're going to start. Remember, this is comparing directly to sportsbooks, or in this case, this happens to be quote-unquote a DFS app. But all these other lines you're going to see is direct comparison to sportsbooks, right? Where we compare back to PrizePicks lines, and we're going to trust the odds on which these sportsbooks are setting for these player props, right? Anthony Santander, over 6 fantasy score on PrizePicks. Direct comparison, if we click this little hyperlink here to DraftKings, if they were to have a fantasy score market, they would have this priced right around 7.2 fantasy score. So off by 1.2 direct in comparison to PrizePicks, right? This is by taking the even lines for all the stats or projections that make up hitter fantasy score here on PrizePicks. DraftKings would have this projected higher, and PrizePicks is too low in comparison to DraftKings. So we'll take the over of Santander in the MLB at 6. So over 6 hitter fantasy score. Come back to the optimizer. Patrick Queen, Thursday. Sorry, this is actually Sunday. The Sunday morning game, 9:30 a.m. Ravens, over 6.5 tackles. Look, this is just heavy juice. We're not getting really any discrepancies. Over 6.5 is juiced. Average odds of minus 144. Look, you got minus 150 Fliff, minus 151 on Hot Streak, minus 148. So good juice on the over of 6.5. No discrepancy there, but we'll take the juice and run with the sports books, because sports books are giving this a favorable chance to happen, right? Favorable odds to happen. Let's go to NFL and Queen. Patrick Queen, over 6.5 tackles plus assists. Now, we have Royce Lewis, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. So this is technically below our 54.34% odds to hit, or fair odds percentage that we're needing in a PrizePicks 5 flex. But because we have a 55.4%, 54.69, these are well above 54.34. We can come down and grab this 54.15% odds to hit and still get our fair odds percentage on our each individual leg, right? Above that. Remember, stay tuned. We have our correlated slip coming up for college football. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you guys are staying tuned in till all of these slips. The last college football slip, correlated slip I put out did miss, but in that same video, I gave out a 12x on ParlayPlay. So make sure you guys are tailing. I'm going to go ahead and hop over. So I'm going to take those top 4 plays, and I'm going to hop over to the middling tool, where I am looking to find something where PrizePicks is off in comparison to the rest of the market. So boom, I see this. We have Jackie Young over 5 rebounds on PrizePicks, set to 5.5 on 2 other DFS apps, being ParlayPlay and Hot Streak. Sold, right? It's pretty clear that if PrizePicks is the one that's off in comparison to 2 others, are you going to trust the one DFS app or the 2 that are in agreement? So I'm going to go with Jackie Young over 5 rebounds. So that's going to be a PrizePicks slip right there. Glory over 4 maps 1 and 2 kills. Santander over 6 hitter fantasy score. Patrick Queen, if we can make it through those other 4 and get to Sunday, that'd be great. Have a nice little Sunday morning sweat. Over 6.5 tackles plus assists. Royce Lewis over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I don't think we mentioned, but Royce Lewis just juiced on the sports books. Yeah, juiced on the sports books. Average odds about -140. So good enough to go ahead and get in the slip to keep it plus EV. Jackie Young over 5 rebounds, off in comparison to the rest of the daily fantasy apps market. Using the middling tool here at Daily Grind Fantasy. If you guys want to try the optimizer or the middling tool yourself, you guys can check it out for 7 days free, linked in the description of this video. Make sure you guys are checking that out. I will go ahead and do this. ParlayPlay. Quickly, if you want a good slip on ParlayPlay, build this out. Right? Christian Javier. You know what? Actually, we're not going to actually build it on the app. But here, using the optimizer, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a slip right now. I just entered this shortly before filming this. Christian Javier, under 5 strikeouts, right? He's juiced a little bit on the under of 4.5 on a couple of these books. Maybe his near even line set to 4.5. We get it at 5. So ParlayPlay is a little too aggressive on this line. So take advantage of that, right? You're getting it at the better number, and you're getting it at -115 in a 5-pick insured slip here on ParlayPlay. One of the most profitable slip types, 5 and 6 man flexes. Anthony Santander over 8 fantasy score. Gunnar Henderson over 8 fantasy score. Now, what's good about that is it's a little bit of positive correlation, right? If Anthony Santander and Gunnar Henderson are hitting near each other in the lineup, if Anthony Santander is getting on, and Gunnar Henderson is hitting behind him, not only is he hitting for an RBI if Santander can score, but Santander gets a run scored as well, or vice versa. Royce Lewis, we're kind of doubling down here, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs on PrizePicks. But if you take Royce Lewis, I suggest sliding the line. You can slide the line 1 time per day on ParlayPlay, where you can take this down to 9 hitter fantasy score. They have a lot of increments by 3 here on ParlayPlay. So if you can get it at 9, it gives you some push potential. But those increments of 3 in the scoring columns, it's kind of a big deal. So I like to go ahead and slide that down to 9 if you are going to play it. You can do that 1 time per day on ParlayPlay. You can slide any stat over 7 on ParlayPlay. You can slide it in your favor one way or the other. At this point, we're taking the over because DraftKings has it set to 10.5 if they were to have that fantasy score market. So getting it at 9, getting it off by 1.5 seems like a good deal to me. A little bit of NHL action. Tyson Barrie, under 0.5 player points. So a really good start there in NHL. Average juice of -135, still plus EV because you're looking for 53.34%. Isaiah Pacheco, over 2 receptions. Something that we're going to have to wait till Thursday night, so hopefully we go ahead and get through that. Heavy juice on the over of 1.5, so we're getting good push potential here at 2, but such heavy juice, still a good play even at 2, getting the more aggressive number here. We didn't take Nathan Eovaldi because he is going up against the Baltimore Orioles. We're not going to want to take his over in strikeouts and then over in fantasy score, because if he's not getting, if they're going over fantasy score, it's likely that he's not striking out that many people, right? So it's a little bit of negative correlation. You want to make sure you're not getting that in your slips. Much like the opposite of this positive correlated slip, we are going to go ahead and get in right now. Coastal Carolina, Appalachian State on Underdog. Let's go ahead and do it. And remember, these are such a big edge on playing them on these set playout platforms instead of playing them in the same game parlays on, like, let's say FanDuel, right? You're getting docked. They're giving you a lesser payout playing them in a same game parlay with positive correlation, taking all overs or something like that, because they know it's highly correlated, right? But these DFS apps do not do that. So you are able to go ahead and positively correlate and not get docked, right? So we got Grayson McCall for Coastal Carolina is going to be one of the QBs we are taking here. Over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Ooh. Grayson McCall over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Now, what are we correlating that with, right? Let's go ahead and see. Grayson McCall and, okay, Sam Pickney. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but nonetheless, we're taking his over 82.5 receiving yards, right? If they're moving the ball, I don't even remember what this guy's Sam McPickney is going over yards, and then likely if we're getting over 82 yards, hopefully Grayson McCall is throwing a couple touchdowns. That's the plan there, right? Positive correlation. If he's going over yards, they're moving the ball. Opportunities for touchdowns, passing touchdowns for McCall. Now, on the flip side, in the same game, we are going to be taking Joey Aguilar, passing yards over 247.5 for Appalachian State. Oops, I can't spell Joey apparently. Joey Aguilar over 247.5. And if he's going to go over 247.5, it's likely his wide receivers are going to go over their receiving yards, right? You see how that's positively correlated? Or like for another instance as far as correlation, right? Or positive correlation, where one outcome is expected to positively impact other outcomes, right? If last night we had the under of 4 punts in our ParlayPlay correlated slip for Monday Night Football. If the offenses are moving the ball, less punts, maybe there could be some turnovers, you never know, but less punts if the offenses are moving the ball. So it's positively correlated if you were taking the overs on, pass yards and some receivers, that it's likely less. It's likely to happen if they are going over those pass yards, over those receiving yards. There's going to be less punts in the game, right? Because they are moving the ball. Positive correlation. That's how it works, right? So we're going to be taking the over of 247.5. Then Christian Horn over 38.5 receiving yards. This is on Underdog. Christian Horn over 38.5. And then, sorry, I'm taking a second to get there. Caden, maybe, that's pronounced Caden Robinson, over 59.5 receiving yards. So Caden Robinson over 59.5 receiving yards. Perfect. So positive correlation there. We take the over for App State's quarterback. If he's going to go over, these receivers are likely to go over as well. That's going to be the positive correlated slip for college football tonight on Underdog, but we also got some PrizePicks plays in and gave you a slip on ParlayPlay as well. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, drop a thumbs up. Like this video also if you're tailing. If you learned something one way or another, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's cash.